What's going on, guys? Today I want to share my financial blueprint in order to retire rich as a multiple millionaire. So let me draw it out for you here on this whiteboard. So this is my blueprint here. So excuse my handwriting. So this is the blueprint. So at the top is you want to focus on, let me hide this real quick. At the top funnel here, you want to focus on building a business. So this is BIZ. Let's do business, biz for short. And in this business, you want to make sure that there's low overhead. So low overhead. And then there's high profit margin. Once again, excuse my handwriting here. I have a doctor's handwriting. So what's an example of a business with low overhead and high profit margin? So the ones that I like to use and that I'm personally doing is, building a personal brand through YouTube or social media, right? There's no overhead costs minus, some a microphone, a webcam, and my time, right? But the profit margin can be very high once it starts to compound, like once you get sponsorships, once you get monetized by YouTube. So that's a good example. Another one is like creating an educational course. Like for me, I create the Making Multifamily Money course where it makes buying multifamily apartment complexes very simple and easy. And once again, it has low overhead costs. It's have to pay, I have to create all the educational content one time, create tweaks here and there and add-ons organically based on the feedback of the students. And after that, I just upload it on a platform like Teachable, which has very small monthly fee, right? So, it's a couple $100 a month. And then when you sell your course, it's a very high profit margin, um, depending on what service you offer. So for me, I teach students how to get their first off-market apartment complex. And relatively speaking, the cost of the course relative to how much money you can make if you actually close on your first apartment complex is very little, right? So, for example, for me, I spent $15,000 on a course to learn about apartment complex investing, and I've made over $300,000 in equity day one just following a system, right? So, would you spend $15,000 to make $300,000? I think most people would say yes to that. So, those are examples of two businesses that I like to do. It's low overhead, high profit margin. Those are the best ways. So you want to make money through this type of business, and then once you have that business making you money, and keep in mind this is going to take at least 5 to 10 years. It's definitely a grind. You know, I can definitely relate with YouTube. It's definitely a grind. And from this business, so I'm gonna draw this arrow over here. So this business is very active. You want to invest this money in index funds. So I'm right, index fund. And why you do that is because it's very passive, right? Index fund investing is very passive. I automate my investing every single month. So, for example, I'll do $1,000 a month. You can make the amount however much your business makes, but I do $1,000 a month. And from that $1,000 a month, it gets divided up into three different index funds. So the one I use, and I'll write up here, is VTSAX. So this is all through Vanguard. So this is the total US stock market. I do it at 60%. There's an international uh, index fund through Vanguard. I'll just do INT for short. That's 30%. And then the last one is a total bond market through Vanguard, which is 10%. So it's a very simple three index fund portfolio, which covers everything, right? VTSAX, that's the entire US stock market, right? Very strong economy, right? The next one is the entire international stock market. So you want to benefit from emerging markets like India, China, it encompasses everything, right? You want to diversify a little bit. And lastly, you want some bonds, just to diversify again and add the total bond market. So this is a very simple index fund portfolio that I think I got from Tony Robbins' book, Money Master the Game. So you can do the math, right? If I do $1,000 a month, so 600 goes to VTSAX, 300 goes to my international index fund, and for my bonds, it's $100 a month. So this is very passive, no mental energy, and the business is active, right? So let me write down here. This is active. So basically, you make money from your business, which has low overhead, high profit margin, and you funnel your profits into index funds. I personally use Vanguard. You can use Fidelity, just anything that's low cost. So you want to make sure that this is low fees. And then from your index funds, this is where the magic happens, and this is how the rich get richer, is you can take a line of credit. So I'm going to abbreviate this as LOC. You can take a line of credit against your index fund portfolio. So typically you can only do maybe about, let's just do 50% of your entire index portfolio. And you can borrow that money at 3 to 5% interest. That's very cheap, right? Even to this day, housing interest rates are around 7 to 8%. You can borrow money, you can take a line of credit against your index fund portfolio at 3 to 5% interest, depending on how much money you have in that portfolio. If you have like over $1 million, you're probably closer to 3%. But if it's like $100,000, you're probably at that 5%, and you can borrow that money. And this is where you want to invest it. You want to invest this into apartment complexes, which is what I love to do and is what I teach, right, in my course. So why I like apartment complexes is, on average, let's just say if you were to invest in a syndication, they usually give you a 6 to 8% preferred return. Space there. So out the gate, you're borrowing money at 3 to 5% from your index fund portfolio. Remember, this is very liquid money, so you can use it as your emergency fund as well. And then you can be guaranteed 6 to 8% preferred return, and that's not including the equity you get. Right? So this is what the rich do. This is what banks do. They borrow your money, like at, let's say, for example, Chase Bank. They'll give me like 0.1% interest, and they go give someone a loan at like 7%. So they're arbitraging the interest rate. And by doing this, you're also arbitraging interest rate. You're borrowing money against your index fund portfolio at 3 to 5%, and you're investing it in an apartment complex, which gives you 6 to 8% preferred return day one. You get upside equity in the deal. You get, tax write-offs. And this is how you make your money work for you, right? So this is my financial blueprint in order to retire very early, hopefully before 40, and very wealthy, at that, $20 million net worth range. And this is the exact blueprint. And once I learned this completely blew my mind. My mind was completely blown. So let me summarize this one more time to connect all the dots for you, literally. So you want to focus on building a business that has low overhead and high profit margin. And this is an active business. So what I'm doing is YouTube and my Making Multifamily Money course, and also my direct mailing campaign automation service, where I'll do your letters for you, right? So a lot of people are too busy to do letters themselves, so I'll do it for you. So this is low overhead, high profit margin. That's why I'm doing it. From there, I'm going to take all my profits and invest it into index funds it's passive, it has low fees. You want to automate it, and I just do a 3-fund portfolio here. You can copy mine's. It's probably the best one. And then from that, this is nice because you have liquidity, right? Because you can access this money anytime for your business or even for your real estate. And you can take a line of credit, 50% of your money. So you have $1 million over here, you can take $500,000 at 3 to 5% interest, invest it in an apartment complex. If you do have a syndicator, you can get 6 to 8% preferred return day one. You get upside equity, and you get tax write-offs. If you want to buy the deals yourself, like what I do and what I advocate, to be honest, and what I teach in my course, is you can use that money as a down payment to buy an apartment complex that makes you about 6 to 8% cash and cash return day one. And you still have the upside of doing value add, where you increase the value, you increase the equity, do a cash out refi, pull all your money tax free, pay off your line of credit that you have here, and then take whatever money you made from the apartment and go buy another apartment complex, right? And then you also have a tax write-off. So this is how the wealthy play the game. Like once I learned this concept and was explained it, it blew my mind, and I felt like I needed to share it with my audience. So hopefully, if you found value in this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and please write a comment down below how you plan to use this blueprint to make yourself retired early and a millionaire. So once again, if you want to check out my Making Multifamily Money course or sign up for the direct mailing automation program that I created, check out the link down below, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.